One of your bills making its way through the process this week, Senate Bill 127, which is pretty much every year there's at least one highway naming bill, and this one's yours.
Yeah, so it started out with a businessman in my district in Perryville, Don Welge, and he worked for many years with companies, grew his family business on both sides of the river, so on the Illinois side as well in Chester. And so my bill originally was to name the Chester Bridge after him. A similar piece of legislation is going through in Illinois as well. So we're super excited about doing this for the family in memorial of him and his great work for our area, both sides of the bridge. As you said, every year a bill gets loaded up and kind of becomes the highway naming bill, and mine has. And it really has some good other things in it. There's several officers that have been killed in line of duty. Martin Luther King Jr., a piece of roadway for him, and then also a couple MoDOT workers that were killed while working on the highway. There are just several things in the bill that we really have a lot of support behind it because of different representatives and senators who wanted to do something in memorial of someone in their district. I think it has a great chance to get finished this year.
Does it make a difference for it to happen earlier in session, even if it's quote unquote a bill that's seemingly not as big of a deal, but in this case, there's a lot of interest in it around the state?
Right, and it is. Getting it out of the Senate before spring break was a huge step forward, and so I do look forward to it going through the House pretty quick because a lot of the House members' bills on it.
Your adult high school bill is also making its way through.
Yes, I'm super excited. We had the committee for that this week, and I don't anticipate any problems because this has been such a great program. Several years ago, we had legislation allowing adult high schools. And what these high schools are is they're for students who have had to drop out for one reason or the other. And with me, I took my GED. I had to drop out of school at 15 to help take care of my family. And within a few years, I took my GED. I think I was 18 when I did. And the process for that was I had to go and take online classes and courses and teach myself and hit these benchmarks online at a center that had the software and was doing this. And that worked out well for me. I was able to swing it, but a lot of students don't have that ability to be able to sit at a computer and work through these lessons on their own. They need a teacher. And the adult high schools have a teacher. They also have a daycare. And, that was something I had a child, but I was going on my lunch hour and directly after work while I still had daycare to, get an hour in here and an hour in there, where a lot of students just don't have that ability. And so having a daycare on site has been really helpful as well. This would allow for an expansion to have one more around the Kansas City area. So that's going to be a really good expansion if we get to do that. We've had over 700 graduate. And so these are students that they're getting an actual diploma. So it's not a GED, they're actually earning their high school credits. And if for some reason they go for a semester, earn credits, and then can't go the next semester, well, they've still gained those credits. So when they do get to come back, they start where they left off. And when they complete the program, it is an actual from the Department of Education, it is a high school diploma. It's just a really neat process. They can also work on dual credit with college credit while they're doing this. I personally know someone who's gone through and gotten her degree through the adult high school in Poplar Bluff, which is pretty close to my district. I'm just a big fan of them, and we just had the Poplar Bluff Adult High School has just had an expansion, a satellite expansion in Cape Girardeau. It's really neat. It's downtown. Well, not in the downtown area by the river, but it's in the middle of town, and so very easy access. And I know that they're going to be incredibly successful.